This is Tom Dillon, the Lifetime Liberal, and today is Wednesday, August 16th, 2017. The title of this rant is "The Instigator of Hate is Still Backed by the GOP on Racist Policies." So the betrayer of trust is now the instigator of hate, as he went way over the top yesterday in his endorsement of the alt-right. But if we look at the policies that he is endorsing, the GOP is right with him, or should I use a bad irony, in goose step with him. So again, yesterday's press conference showed that he is a racist. He really is not an American, but his policies are racist, and the GOP is right with him on that. So if we look at voter ID, this is trying to keep the poor, women, and people of color who are already registered from voting by saying you don't have an ID. What else are they doing in that area? Decreasing the number of voting hours, decreasing the number of days, especially in less economically areas. They want to decrease the amount of voting places that you can vote at. They want to decrease the amount of voting machines. When it comes to the minimum wage, all of the Republicans are against any increase in the minimum wage. Again, who does that hurt the most? Poor, and especially women and women of color, people of color. That's who it's hurting. Now remember, if the minimum wage was high enough, people could take the time off to go to vote. So they're trying to do this all the way around. All right, when it comes to health care, who's that hurting? It's not hurting the rich. It's not hurting, but it's hurting the poor, women, and people of color. And we can go across the gamut. Global climate change. All right? The GOP is right with him. When it comes to comprehensive immigration reform, they're right with him. When it comes to terms of starving the budget, they're right with him. Maybe not quite as bad as he's trying to do it right now, but they're with him on most of it. Taxing the rich, they don't want to do that. They want to give more money to the rich. When it comes to gun safety, they don't want any more gun safety. There's too much gun safety as it is. When it comes to infrastructure, which should have been yesterday's big announcement, they're looking for public-private partnerships, which are really tax breaks for the rich. So, the instigator of hate has stepped over the line in terms of his endorsement for the alt-right. But his GOP minions are right with him, and as I said, in goose step with him on all of these major issues affecting the country right now. Now, the GOP has now, if you want to say it, a good excuse to try and get rid of him. But if they bring in Pence, it's just going to be more of the same. Because Pence is just the same. He wants to maintain the daddy state. He is basically for and about rich white men and against the poor, against women, and against people of color.